3.
Hello everyone, it's Wednesday, so we're on to the second section, so let's get started. We're going to go back to doing some warm-ups today, so I think a lot of us are spending too much time sitting, so maybe it's nice to get moving just a little bit before we go into form practice. So just starting with the head, neck, and shoulders again, just drawing the chin to the chest and then dropping it and pulling up and back. Just straight movements to begin with. Maybe really lifting up, getting rid of all that hunching we do from sitting at the computer. Maybe one more before we come back to center. And then we're gonna go from side to side. So just kind of like single whip, looking over the shoulders from side to side. Slow movements, just starting to wake up the body. Maybe one more round. And then we'll come back to center. And we're just going to combine those together. So a nice circle with the head, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, back and around. Full circles, trying to keep your shoulders down so we get that full stretch in the neck. And then maybe after you've done a few rounds on that side, you're going to go to the other direction. And then we stop when we get to the bottom and we just gently draw the head back up into a neutral position. And then we're going to move into the shoulders here. So if you want, you can just draw them up and back. If you really want to get into it, move the arms. Big movements. If you really want to do it, you can do full movements. Whatever feels good for your body today. Probably depends on how much sitting you've been doing. And then whenever you're ready, go back into the other direction. So same thing, you can start small and then you can incorporate the arms. You could do full circles with the arms. Whatever's good for you at this point in time. We really want to focus on ourselves and what feels good for our body. All right, so after we do that, make sure to take one nice roll back with the shoulders. So we kind of pull them back a little bit. And then we're going to move into the arms. So just kind of like what we're going to work on today, cloud hands. We're just going to rotate the arms, rotate at the elbow joints, okay? If you want to move the wrists, you can. If you want to leave them in line and just rotate the palms, that's up to you. But then we're going to go the other direction, just warming up all the joints. All right, maybe one or two more circles. And then we're going to go into the wrists here. So there's a couple of ways. You can just rotate your wrists, just doing whatever movement feels good for you. If you want to keep going one direction, you could do elbows and wrists together. So drawing them in, whatever feels good. If you're doing like this, make sure you go back the other direction and pull the arms out so that the wrists move in the other direction as well. All right, so just taking a moment, and then we're going to shake out the arms. And we're going to move into the hips, okay? So you want to take a nice shoulder width stance, or you can go a little bit wider, but we just want to move the hips in a circle. So you can put your hands on your hips, you can put them behind on your lower back, whatever feels good. And we're just going to rotate. So push the hips out and around. Nice big circles. Really open up the hip joints. Few big circles. We've been doing a lot of sitting, I'm sure. So we want to get the body warmed up so when we sink into these stances, we're ready to go. And we'll go the other direction now. So you can make circles. If you feel comfortable, you can make like a figure 8 with the hips. Whatever feels good. I'm a real big believer, and we know our bodies better than anyone else. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it, all right? So let's go into the knees here. So if you want, you put your feet together, and we're just going to make circles with the knees. So circling with the knees. There's a couple of ways you can do this. You know, you could move back and forth in a lower stance, or you can keep the feet together and just do small circles with the knees, always making sure to go the other direction, just warming everything up. All right, so we have one more joint left after this, right? The ankles. So if you have something next to you, you can hold on to that and lift one foot up a little bit off the ground, just rotate the ankle. So just nice circles with the ankle. And then the other side. You can do this kind of with the foot on the ground and kind of rotate the heel around. Kind of move the joint if you don't have anything to hold on to and you feel a little unsteady. Just be careful. Know your body. And then let's do the other leg. The other side, nice rotations with the ankle. And then always going the other direction. All right. So you want, you can shake it out. I like to draw my shoulders up and then throw everything down. It kind of loosens up the body here. You can kind of like toss everything up and down. You'll hear my voice shake as I do this, but it just kind of gets the energy flowing through the whole body. And then just gradually slow it up and come into a gentle standing position. All right. So today, we're gonna work on cloud hands for sure, and if we have time, we'll move into high pat on horse, but first we're gonna review the section from cross hands all the way through to the first single whip, all right? So let's go into cross hands. I'm gonna turn the other direction so we're moving the same direction. Starting with the feet shoulder width. Take a moment and always check to make sure they're straight. This is gonna play an important role for today. Right arms on the outside. Moving into embrace the tiger. Shift the weight and turn. Separate the arms. Step, open, and show striking. Roll back. Connect out. Turn. Press, touching the forearm. Pressing out. Open up the arms so we can draw back. Sit them up and push out. Fist under elbow, flatten the arms, turn, big circle, circle back, push out and relax the left foot so you can step, show ward off, rotate, pull down, make a fist, touch with the heel, and show punching. Repulse monkey, circle, natural step back, one forward, one back with the arms. Number 2, circle, hand in front of the shoulder, touch, show striking. Number 3, circle, step, one forward, one back. Diagonal flying, big circle with the arms, step out, splitting energy. Raise hands, stepping back, open up the arms, touch with the heel, close, waist turning. White crane, circling the arms, step, touching with the toes, opening the arms. Brush knee, right arm circles down, and then they switch, step, open up, and strike. Needle at C-bottom. Step in, pull back, come up on the heel, change to the toes, sink down. Fan through the back, touch the wrist, step for bow stance, separate the arms. Turn body, chop with fist. Make the fist chop, move into your bow stance and strike. Parry, block, and punch. Connect out, circle down, step, parry out, show block as you step and punch. Grasping the bird's tail. Little ward off, rotate the arms, ward off right. Rotate for roll back. Circle in and touch for press. Open up, pull back, sit up the palms for push. Single whip, move back, turning. Circle in, Make the hook, step out, and show striking. Okay. The section's getting longer and longer now, huh? So does everyone want to do it one more time before we move on? All right. I love the thumbs up. All right, let's do it again. This time, so give me a thumbs up if you want me to talk you through it. Or if you want me to just say the names, don't do anything. Okay, I'll do a mix then. We got a 50-50. So I'll just do a little bit of it. Okay, so cross hands. Embrace the tiger. Turn. Step out. And strike. Roll back. Turning at the end. Press. And push. Fist under elbow. Turning. Push out. Ward off. And showing fist under elbow. Repulse monkey. Number 1. Number 2. Step, strike. Number 3. Diagonal flying. Big circle and splitting. Raise hands and step forward. Waist turning, arms close. White crane. Big circle. And then spread your wings. Brush knee. Stepping when the arms are back, open and strike. Needle at sea bottom. Nice pull back so we can sink down. Fan through the back. Touch, step, open. Turn body and chop with fist. Striking into a bow stance. Deflect down, parry, block, and punch. Grasping the bird's tail. Ward off, right. Roll back. Press. And push. Single whip. Make the hook, step, and strike. Okay. Good job. Nice single whips. I like the roundness of the back everyone has and great hook hands. All right, so today we're going to do wave hands like clouds. The footwork is relatively simple, but sometimes we have a hard time getting our feet to the straight position. So we're going to spend some time talking about that. And so we go here from single whip to single whip with 3 wave hands like clouds in between. So I'm just going to show you the footwork first. So from single whip, so we're just in a traditional stance, right? We're going to move back our weight so we can turn our left foot to the straight direction. Then we're going to shift the weight to left, pick up, and step in shoulder width. We're going to step out to the side, double wide, move the weight to left so we can pick up and step in with the right. Weight moves to the right, step out, double wide, move the weight to the left, step in, move the weight to the right so we can step again, move over. Last one, stepping to the corner direction, relax, step out, bow stance for single whip. Okay, so when we do this movement, we want our feet to be perfectly straight. Now sometimes it's easy when we're here that we can turn the first foot into straight, but then maybe we step out and it's to corner. And then we have these wide kind of stances, or maybe we're turning the toes in, right? Everyone has a different natural position that their foot goes to when we're standing. So when we first start, what may help after the first one is stepping with the edge of the foot so that the whole edge, inner edge of your foot here, touches the ground all at once. And so we step out, the whole edge of the foot touches, and then we move the weight over. So this is something to play with. And once you get used to the footwork being straight, you can then step out and just touch with the toes, and then move the weight. Pick up, touch with the toes, move the weight to the right, touch with the toes, move the weight. Last one, shoulder with whole body turns. And then we go to single whip. Open to the side. Okay, does anyone have any questions on the footwork before we do it a couple of times? Okay, so let's just go into our single whip footwork. Bow stance with the left foot forward. Make sure you have a natural bow stance. So you won't necessarily see me step out, but I have enough practice that I know what my stance is. But I'd like you to, every time, step out naturally and then make your bow stance. Okay, so I'm gonna go the same direction as you. So from single whip, move back your weight, turn the left foot to the straight direction. Move the weight to the left, pick up the right foot, step in shoulder width. Move the weight to the right, step out double wide. Move the weight to the left, pick up, shoulder width. Move the weight to the right, pick up, step, double wide. Move the weight to the left, pick up, shoulder width. Weight to the right, step out, double wide. Move the weight to the left, last one. Pick up, foot to the corner direction, because we're gonna step out, bow stance, single whip. Okay, how did that feel? Okay, so now let's add some waist movement. Yes, nice arm movement. So we're gonna talk about the waist, because the waist controls the arms throughout this entire movement. It's not just the arms that move in these circular waves for wave hands like clouds. It's the waist body turning that gives you this movement. So let's just do the footwork with the waist turning this time. So from single whip, step out, natural stance again. Open the body, it's straight up and down. We're gonna move the weight back. We're gonna turn the waist and turn the foot to the straight direction. So now we should be waist to the corner direction. Okay, we're on the side here. We're gonna come back and shift the weight to the left, pick up, and our waist is gonna be turning to the left. We're gonna turn the waist to the right as we move the weight to the right, pick up, step. We're gonna turn the waist back to the left as we move the weight to the left, pick up, step. Turn the waist to the right as the weight comes to the right, pick up, step. Move the weight to the left and the waist turns to the left, pick up, step. One more time, waist turning, pick up, waist turns back, pick up, corner direction, whole body turns. Move the weight to the right, waist turns to the right, step, waist turns, and then opens up, single whip. Okay. Did everyone focus on the waist there? Because this is going to be key to the whole movement. Okay, good. All right, so the arm movements. So we're in single whip, right? What's going to happen is the waist turning is going to lead the arms to come to your right side. Our hook's going to end up to straight. The palm is facing that direction, but kind of to the corner. Can you guys see if I go this direction maybe, where you end up? So I'm here at single whip. I'm going to move back, and I'm going to turn. Now my hook is directly to you, okay? So from here, what happens is that we're going to shift back. This is going to show pulling as our hook hand sinks down. Our waist is going to lead the movement, and we're going to step in when our hands reach the side position. Now from here, my waist is to the corner. Then I'm going to start turning back. Now when our top hand reaches the center line, the palm is going to rotate and show pulling down to the side. So we have one arm going up, one arm going down. Okay? So if we just took out one arm, remember we spent a lot of time last week working on that ward off position? So this is where that comes in use. So if we're in the hook hand, what's going to happen is you're going to let the arm drop and open up the hook. Now we want to keep our armpit open here as we come up into that ward off position. We're going to come up and then center line, right? We're going to rotate and show pulling out to the side. So it comes down, rotating in the elbow like we did in our warm-ups, coming into ward off at the center line, rotate, pulling out. Come down, up, rotate at the center, pull. Okay, so now the other arm, right? So if we're here in single whip, we come across and then we show pulling and we're on the side, right? And same thing, armpit open, rotate. So use your shoulder and elbow joints. Come down and up, center line, rotate and turn, pull. Circle, come into that ward off, rotate, pulling. Does anyone know why we come to the center line and come out? Ooh, is it going? Okay. So again, it's a martial art, right? And even if we're not practicing it as a martial art, knowing the meaning will help the alignment of our form. Yes, so our opponent is punching towards us. So we connect. So we connect with the form. So if someone comes in and we're going to connect and we're going to turn, grab, and throw them to the side. So all this movement is connecting and throwing, connecting, throwing to the side. So we want to make clear that we're connect, we've rotated and grabbed, and we're pulling them down to the side. So every time we do this, connect, grab, and pull and turn, waist turns. So our waist goes from corner to corner throughout these entire movements, okay? So let's just do the arms. So we're in single whip, okay? So our arms are in single whip. We're gonna move, turning the waist to the side, waist to the corner, arms to the side. We're gonna pull and rotate, right arm drops. Okay, I'm gonna face this direction. It might be easier. So we pull and rotate, right arm drops, waist turns to this side. Okay, we're gonna rotate the arms. When we reach center, rotate your right arm, pull down as the left arm comes up. Now left arm connects. At the center, we turn. Waist is still turning here the entire time. Number 3, or this is 2.5. Rotate at the center, arms to the side, waist to the corner. Okay? Connect with the left arm, grab, pull to the side, and waist is to the corner when the arms are on the side. Last one. So the last one, same movements as before, but at the end, we're gonna make a hook and we're gonna sit up the left arm just like single whip so we can step out and show the block and the strike. Good. Do we have any questions before we put this all together?
Marian?
Sure.
So what I've observed and what I've practiced is like a bigger motion, like longer reaching, for example. But it sounds like you're saying that we need to keep our arms in more of that rounded shape, more contained.
Well, so it is a round shape, but it's not going to be like an overly extended shape because we still want to keep that relaxed feeling, right? So the relaxed feeling is it's hard to describe because when we talk about relaxed, we want to open up the joints a little bit so we are getting that big shape, but we don't want to
But we don't want to reach for anything. We just want to go to the arm's length to push away, bring it down. Well,
exactly.
I'm wondering like how much you're moving your arms to one side of your body or not. You know, like you don't keep your shoulders and arms exactly in one rigid place and just do this.
No, they do move a little bit. Here, let me demonstrate one time just so you can see, and I'll face you. Let's see, if I start here, it should be a good starting point. So if I'm in single whip, I'm gonna move back, my arms don't change. When I turn, there is change in my arms. My left arm comes over to the side. I open up, so everything is turning, and they are moving because it's not just like if I just rotated like this and just moved my waist, my arm wouldn't make it out to the side. Do you see that? So it's everything turning and opening together. So it is a big movement, but I don't want you to just turn the arms like this, okay? Can you see the difference of just turning the arms like this versus if I step and it's the waist turning? When I step, it's the waist turning. It's not just like I'm staying to the straight direction and my arms are moving. Everything is leading. So it's a big movement, but it's not, I'm not doing a really big movement. Do you see the difference,
It's sort of
Marian?
subtle, but I think I know what I understand what you're saying, and I think I can see it. Yeah. Thank you.
It is a subtle thing. Everything about Tai Chi is subtlety, right? So one of the things that helps me personally with my practice, especially because I haven't had anyone around to help me for a long time until recently with this incredible school, is videotaping yourself. So setting up your device and just maybe doing a few movements, because then you can look at it from an outside perspective and say maybe you did it on your cell phone, right? Because so many of us have a smartphone that we can take video with. If you then have a computer or laptop, you could put Yang Jun or Nancy on your computer screen and put your phone at the bottom of the screen and compare what you see between your movements and their movements. And it might help you understand, just to kind of see from an outside perspective what you're doing. Because I think sometimes, at least I know for me, I thought I was like killing it in the beginning. I thought I was doing so great. And then I saw a video of myself and I was like, oh my goodness, I gotta rein it in. You know, I gotta like, it's big movements, but it's not overextended movements, you know? So seeing a video helped. And then, you know, the cool thing is, you know, years down the line, you can go check out the videos and see how far you've come.
Right. Well,
Yeah, so maybe doing that.
The other thing I've noticed watching different teachers is that different teachers have different length of reach, longer bodies, longer whatever. And so some people that are smaller, they look more contained, you know. And
absolutely.
Other people look like they've got a lot more going on with length, and then I think, oh, I need to be reaching a little bit more, you know, for example. So
yeah, it's very true. I mean, I know for me personally, I have extremely long arms. So I know that a lot of the times it looks like my arms are huge, but it's just my reach, my length, you know, whereas other people have shorter arms so that their length isn't going to be as far, you know. But what is the same from teacher to teacher, and if through all the students, what we're going for as a practitioner is those principles of practice. You know, that relaxed feeling and keeping the shoulders and elbows down throughout all of this. And, you know, it's not a principle, but keeping the armpits open is really important. You know, when we do wave hands, we don't want to collapse everything in. You know, we want to keep it round. How we talk about with the hugging the tree, it's kind of the same thing. And remember the ward off we were doing last week? This is that ward off feeling. We don't want to have it close in and elbows, you know, armpits closed. We want to have that space into it. And it's a big movement, but it's not a high movement. You know, one of the things that we talk about is we don't want the fingertips to go above eye level. So we don't want to block our view, right? So when we do this, we don't want to block our view, but we don't want to have small movements like this, right? But we don't want to have huge movements like this. So you kind of got to play with the in-between. It's the same thing of the lean, you know, and all these movements where, you know, we're trying to match our leg angle with our spine angle. And in the beginning, maybe you're not leaning enough, and then you're leaning too much, and then you kind of hone back and forth till you get it. And it's the same thing with the arm movements here. You know, maybe we start off a little too small, and then we realize, oh, we can open up a little bit, but it's too much, and we feel like we're overstretched, and then we rein it in, and we start, oh, that feels really good. You know, do what feels good for your body, Marion. Like, you know how it feels, and if you ever feel strained, that's not it. But if it feels good, I guarantee you that it's right.
But when we do the circles, we use our elbow movement rather than using our shoulders and our arms to make the circles.
Well,
so
it's both.
Elbow rather than the whole arm.
It's both. So if I didn't use my shoulder here and I kept my shoulder here, I wouldn't be able to get this arm anywhere near to center to ward off, right? Okay. So if I was out to the side and I just dropped my elbow down, I would only get to here. Because then there's no, so I drop it and then everything comes in. So there's a movement in of the shoulder here. And then after I rotate, there's a little movement out. You know, it's not just staying like this. Yeah, okay, good. No, there's so many little details. Like, this is why I wanted to focus on the ward off last week, because I'm watching everyone here on my screen that has their video on. And your arm movements look great. You have that real ward off shape as we're doing this. I see a true rotation that is just beautiful. You know, so these are little detail things that we can then focus on to help you understand the movement better and to make it easier in the long run, right? Because the more we practice, the less we'll have to think about it. And then we get the meditative quality that is Tai Chi. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so let's do it a couple of times. I'm going to go the same direction as you because it's kind of hard to watch the arm movements in opposite. And I have to be honest, I haven't done this one in reverse. So we're all going to face the same direction. So starting at single whip, natural step out for a bow stance, right? So single whip, we're looking over the left palm. We're going to move back the weight. The arms don't change, turning. Arms come to the right side, waist turns. We're going to pull, left arm across, right arm comes down, opening up the hook, waist turning, step when the arms are on the side. We're going to turn the waist, shift the weight to the right. When the arm gets to the side, we're going to step. Shift the weight at the center, rotate, show pulling, step at the side, open, step at the side, last one. At the center, rotate. When we get to the last one, the whole body is going to turn to step to the corner. And just like before, turning, but at the end, drop the fingers and make the hook. Step out, elbow drops, open up, and then show striking. Okay, let's do it again. So if you have to back up in your space, back up. I know we're all working in limited spaces here. I think I'm going to come. Can you see my feet if I'm here? No?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, I just want you guys to see the arms a little bit better. Okay, so from single whip. All right, move back the weight, turning to the side, foot straight. Circle the arms. Step when you get to the side. Waist turning. Right arm rotates at the center. Step at the side. Move the weight. Step at the side. Move, rotate, step. Last one. So we're going to rotate, step, whole body, corner direction. Last circle. At the end, make the hook, drop the elbows so you can block and strike. Okay, how does that feel? Do you want to do it a couple more times? Okay, let's do it again. And then I'm going to leave it up to you guys if you want to add high pat on horse this week. There's not a lot of footwork in that movement, so we could squeeze in it as well if everyone has time. All right, so from single whip, natural stance, looking over the left palm, move back the weight, turning, looking to the right corner. We're going to show pulling, step, circle both arms. It's always one up, one down. So we stepped and we're circling, step, and remember, waist turning to the right as the weight moves to the right. Step, waist turning to the left as we move to the left. Right and left. Last one, we step to the corner, rotate, hook hand, single whip. Okay. Ooh, nice single whips. I love when I get to come back and everyone's still in position. Looks great. Okay, so how do we feel? We have, let's see, we have about 8 minutes, which could be enough time. If everyone can stay about 5 minutes more, we could do it. But how do you feel? Let's see. Raise your right hand if you want to just stop here. Left hand if you want to do a high pat on horse. Man, I got a 50-50 every time. All right, so let's just stop here today then. Let's just do it a couple more times because I want everyone to really feel okay about these movements. You know, we're not on a time frame here. That's the great thing about Zoom. We can spread this out as long as we want. Next week, we could work on 2 movements so that we get this one right, okay? So let's do just wave hands like cloud again, and then we're gonna do the whole section from the beginning, okay? So wave hands like clouds from single whip, natural step out, okay? Natural step, hook hand to the corner, left palm striking, looking over the left palm. We're gonna move back the weight, turning, whole body. So we get to the corner. Then we're gonna show pulling, step when the arms are on the side, move the weight. So we're center in the weight here when the arms are in the center. We rotate and finish moving the weight. Step out, center, rotate, all the weight to the left, step, waist turning. Really use your waist here. So the whole body is turning, leading the arms. The arms are moving, but not as much because the waist is doing a lot of work here. So we're on the last one, and we're gonna step to the corner, and we're gonna make our hook, and we're gonna step out for a bow stance, single whip. All right. Okay. I always have to ask because I want to make sure anyone have any questions before we do the whole section again? All right. so let's start at cross hands and let's put the whole thing together because that's what you're going to work on this week. All right, so cross hands. Feet are straight, right arm's on the outside. Move the weight, turning for embrace the tiger. Return to the mountain. Step, open, strike. Roll back. Connect, turn. Press, touching the forearm, pressing out. Open up the arms, pulling back, and push. Fist under elbow. Move back, turn. Circle, push out. Step, showing ward off. Rotate, pull down, make a fist. Touch with the heel, fist under elbow. Repulse monkey. Number 1, circle, step, forward, and back. Circle, foot down, left palm in front of the shoulder. 1 forward, 1 back. Number 3, circle, step, always rotate on the heel. Diagonal flying, big circle, step, splitting energy. Raise hands, stepping back, arms open, touch with the heel, turning, close the arms. Raise hands to white crane. Step, separate the arms, touching with the toes. Brush knee. 1 arm up, 1 arm down, then they switch. Step, open, strike. Needle at C-bottom. Step closer in, pull back onto the heel, change to the toes, sink down. Fan through the back, touch, arms stay out front, and then 1 forward, 1 back. Turn body, protecting the head, and then chop with fist, and strike with the palm. Parry, block, and punch. Connect out, circle down, pick up, step, parry out, foot out, block with the left palm, and show punching. Little ward off, rotate, ward off right. Roll back, press, and push. Single whip. Flatten the arms, turn, circle back, make the hook, step out, show striking. Wave hands like clouds. Move back the weight, whole body turns to the right, pulling, open up the hook, step shoulder width. 2 circles with the arms, step double wide. Circle, step, shoulder width, waist turns to the right, step, waist turns to the left, step. 1 more time, double wide, and then to the corner direction. Making the hook, stepping out, single whip. All right. Good work today. That is a great one to practice. And there's actually, Pierre, you might be able to answer this one better than me. I believe there is warm-up exercises on the Yang Family site, right?
Oh, yes. Right.
With the wave hands?
Yes, he doesn't do wave hands. Yeah, it's I'll drop a link in the chat.
Great, thank you, Pierre. Yeah. So there's actually a warm-up exercise with the wave hands like clouds that doesn't involve moving your feet that Yang just put out. So I would recommend going and checking that out. It is on the website, and Pierre's going to drop a link in the chat, but that's something great that you can practice just these movements on. And you won't even have to worry about the footwork. So then once you feel a little bit more proficient with the arms, then maybe you can play around with the footwork even more. This is a really cool movement. You know, this is one of the few movements in the form that we have something called silk reeling energy, which stems more from the Chen forms, where it's more circular. So this is a really circular movement. A lot of the movements that we do in our form are very much of a ward off. They're very a forward energy. So here we have that circling, and this is a fun movement to practice. So I'd like everyone to work on that and really try those exercises that Pierre just dropped in the chat for us. That was really helpful, Pierre. Thank you. And then next week, we'll move into high pad on horse. And depending on the time, maybe we'll get into the kicks. All right. So thank you for joining me today. And have a great rest of your day.